Hey there, how's it going? Welcome to Dominions 5. My name's Mew, and this time around I'm going to be playing a multiplayer game set in the Middle Age, and I'll be playing as Phaeacia. Phaeacia are an air and water nation, they're a coastal nation, and they do a lot of sailing. All of their units and commanders have the Dark Vessels ability. Lets them sail anywhere that they have dominion on both shores. And then some of their commanders also have regular sailing as well. Phaeacia at this point I think are like 3 years old, 4 years old? I think they came out quite a while ago. But they're still a new nation to me. I don't think I've ever seen Phaeacia make much of an impact in a multiplayer game that I've been in either. I remember there was a Phaeacia in my Phlegra game, but they got rushed pretty early unfortunately. Phaeacia also sometimes starts on an island, and if you start on an island you get a really nice site in your cap that gives you loads of extra gold and resources. We're not going to be starting on an island in this game though. We're going to get given a coastal start, which is fine. They also get income bonuses on coasts, I think, or it might just be coastal forts. So we're incentivized to fort up our coasts. So we'll be doing that. Here's the pretender that I went with. This is a romantic cruise, the Titan of Death and Rebirth. When I was looking at Phaeacia, the thing that stands out is they just don't really need a bless. They've got one sacred troop that you can't really mass very easily, and only the cap-only mages are sacred. And they don't really look like they want a big bless either. So if you don't really need much of a bless, and then you also have an income bonus already, it's kind of heavily points you in the direction of going scales, so I've gone scales here. We've got Order 3, Prod 3, and Growth 2. Didn't quite pay for everything I wanted. Yeah, but we should have really nice income through the early game. Probably one of the richest nations in the game, if we're lucky. It should go that way. And most of our units that we're going to be recruiting early on are quite cheap as well. The Colossi infantry guys are really easy to mass. So with lots of gold we should just be checking out like huge armies of those guys every couple of turns. And that'd be really nice. Since you can do a scales build and don't really need much of a bless, you can pretty much take whatever god you want on this nation, I think. You could take an immobile, have it imprisoned, go full scales. I've gone with a dormant pretender. I think it would be nice to get a dormant monster. Have like a dormant Drakon or a dragon or Hound of Hades or something like that that can just wake up in year 2 and help you out with if you're getting rushed or something. I went with the Titan instead because it's a bit greedier but it scales a bit better. And the Titan will still be quite useful fighting if we get a bit of research done as well. Titan of Death and Rebirth has really good skills for for thugging himself out. I really like building super combatants and stuff. You give this guy a bunch of items, he can do what? Iron Skin, Temper Flesh, Soul Vortex, Personal Regen. He can do all kinds of great buffs on himself. And even if we just get a bit of alteration research, you can just spam Life Drain in a fight or something. He'll be really good. So not quite as instantly impactful when he wakes up as like a Drakon or something, but yeah, I think it's still a good choice. Bless, I went with Fire and Shock Resistance, Withering Weapons, and then Poison Resistance and Forest Survival. Yeah, that's just what his paths give us. I think Fire and Shock Resistance, I was slightly tempted to get larger as a Bless, just to like make our mages a bit larger. The problem with that is that it makes your Sacred size 4 instead of size 3. And then the commander that you'd use to lead them around only has Sailing for size 3. So if you take a larger Bless, unfortunately it like screws your ability to use Sailing. Unless you have the Dark Vessels thing, the Dominion on both sides. But for standard sailing it would kind of screw you a bit. So I don't know. I'm not sure how many Sacred units we'll actually have at various points in the game, but yeah, I was kind of led away from larger. Good Fire and Shot Resistance instead. That's a nice one to dump on mages and things anyway. Withering Weapons might be useful if we give our mages some bows. Maybe if they're in communions, we want them to cast their spell and then just shoot a bow and arrow. It'll have Withering Weapons, that's something. And then Poison Resistance and Forest Survival, why not? Drain to pay for everything, really. And we're only Dominion 5, unfortunately. I didn't want to go into Misfortune. I really don't like Misfortune at this point. I used to like not mind dropping it, but yeah, I'm a bit sick of Misfortune. Drain 2 is only -1 research in this balance mod. And since we're an Air Nation, and we also have these commanders that have a Forge bonus, we should be able to make really cheap quills. So as I always say, we should be able to catch up on research, but if you've watched any of the other games on my channel, you'll know I don't really do a lot of research, so I'll try it though. I might try prioritizing construction 2 in the first year. and then just start churning out as many quills as we can. Phaeacia is kind of weird that they don't have a lot of early gem income. They have like 1 gem from like 5 paths. So it'd be nice if we were generating like, 3 gems a turn or something from turn 1, but we won't be. Bit of a weird one. Yeah, but there's the god, there's the scales, there's the bless. There's my reasoning for it. I'll mention mods. This game, as usual, runs a couple of very small mods. There's the JBBM balance mod, which is the standard balance mod that we use on the Ruby Discord. That makes a bunch of changes to all kinds of stuff in the game, just little tweaks and balance changes. Specific stuff for Phaeacia is only really a couple of cost changes. The Colossi Heavy Infantry and the Colossi Light Infantry are both slightly more expensive. They're like 5 gold more expensive, and I think 7 rec points more expensive. And that's it. I think the Colossi Weaver Commander is also like 20 gold more expensive. But I think they're the only like Phaeacia specific changes in this mod. So nothing too big. The other 2 mods in this game are snow.dm, which gives every single commander and unit in the game snow movement, which is why this guy has snow move, if you're wondering. So snow will not hinder anyone's movement in this game. And the other mod that it's running is an interesting one called Less Water. This turns underwater nations into coastal nations. So I know that there is an Oceania player in this game. They will be a coastal nation, not an underwater nation, which is interesting. We'll see how that goes. So there's a nation, less scales, mods. I will mention that, as always, thank you to my patrons. I've got like, 15 patrons now. It's really cool, guys. Thanks for supporting me. I really appreciate it. If you're enjoying this series, or if you enjoy any of the other series on the channel, and you want to support me doing these videos, yeah, there should be a link in the description below. There'll also be a link to all of the mods in the game, the map generator for this game. I think this is a map nuke game, not a Carto game. I'll put a link to that in the description as well. And I think that's everything. So I hope you enjoy the series. I'm looking forward to it. Thanks for watching, and the next time you hear from me, it'll be turn 1. I'll see you then.